Hi everyone, and welcome to this presentation of the Arpeggiator of the Romagnetics Midynamite. So let's start with the tempo. If I play a simple chord, you can see I can change the tempo. Now if I press the value button, I will change 10 by 10, and if I don't, it will be normal. So one thing to note with the tempo, I'm now at 60, a way slower tempo. If I only have Arpeggiator on, it will play directly in the tempo, but if I have tempo on, you can hear there's a latency between when I play and when it's actually played, and that is because when you have the general tempo on, it's sending to all the other synth, and so it will sync everything together. So we'll keep it off for the moment, but keep in mind, if you have it on, then you'll be able to sync it directly with the rest of your studio. So after tempo, we have division. That's pretty self-explanatory. We're gonna go to the Rhodes and play another chord. Let's make it a D major. We can change the division: 1/4, 1/6, 1/8, 1/12, 16th, 24th, and 32nd. So after division, we have gate, and gate is the amount of time, the percentage of time your note will be on. So right now we are at 100% gate, meaning that the notes smoothly play one after the other. If we want to have a pizzicato, we can do it with a smaller gate, so 10%, really pizzicato. Doesn't sound really good with that particular setting, but if you go, for example, to clavinet, well, it's even worse, but you can always test to 10%, 50%, and now at 100% you have your legato. Now it becomes really interesting with the amount of octaves you have. So right now we're at 1 octave, meaning the notes will be played as is. 2 octaves, 3 octaves, and 4 octaves. From now on, let's continue with 2 octaves. Then the patterns, we have all the classic patterns: up, down, up, down, up, down 2. So with up, down 2, you repeat the highest and the lowest note. Random. Double up plays, it's up with every note played twice. Double down, exactly the same thing. And order is the order in which you play your notes, so plays everything in order. Now, if you want to have more patterns than that, you can just put a comment under the video and I can add it. The next one is swing. Pretty explanatory. So 50% is normal notes, dotted, and then we can go into the extremes. 50%, and then you can go negatively. So that's swing for you. Now the length and the steps, they go together, and this is something you might have seen on a lot of chord synthesizers. The length of the pattern, so for example, let's make it 4, and the steps, if it's X, it's been played. If it's O, it's not being played. And you can hear there's a hole in the pattern. And you can have a length up to 8 steps. Once again, if you want 16 steps, we can do that. So put it in the comments. But here you can see note number 4 and note number 7 are not being played. So with that, you can have a lot of interesting patterns. Hold, once again, pretty self-explanatory. You press it once, and now you can play everything the way you want. Let's turn it off. Key sync. So to explain key sync, I'm going to have a slower tempo. Let's go to 60 and 1/4 to really hear what's going on there. So if key sync is off and you start to play and you change a note, let's say for example that G is going to become an A flat. You can hear we can have it smoothly between the two. But let's say you don't want to have that. Every time you change a note, you want the pattern to restart. That's where key-sync come in play. So now if I put key-sync on, every time I change my note, my A flat, the pattern will restart. So me personally, I usually have it off, but with on, there's a lot of things you can do with it. Now let's go over a couple of things we can do with other effects. You can go to Romagnetics.com to see the whole effects chain, but Arpeggiator is towards the end. So we already saw how it interacted with tempo, but with MIDI split, for example, you can have the lower part being sent to effects and the highest part, for example, being sent to dry, and you can even play the melody to another synth if you go to dry. With MIDI Modify, that's what I'm doing right now. It's changing the MIDI channel, so that can also work with it. For me, the most interesting effect you can use with your arpeggiator is having the MIDI transpose on. So for example, if we do +7, that's a fifth up, you're gonna have all those new notes that are being added, sending the bass, of course. And if you do it with, for example, right now we're in C minor, which is Aeolian. Now you can use it with the exact scale like I'm doing right now in Aeolian. For me, the most fun is when you do just by 1/5, because then you get really cool, really unexpected notes. If we add the 7th, it gets even crazier. Those were the basic functions of the arpeggiator. Go to Romagnetics.com if you want to see more. There's a whole manual up there you can check, and don't hesitate to put in the comments anything else you would like to see for the next version. See you.